What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel Everyday Carry for the Everyday Guy. The Manker MC 11.2. Is this the best EDC tactical flashlight for the money on the market right now? Before we answer that question, I think there is validity to me first explaining to you what I look for in a tactical flashlight. So in no particular order, but all equally important, one is a tail switch. I need to be able to function the light via a tail cap operatable switch. Two is control. I want control over momentary on versus constant on. Three is robustness. It's got to be waterproof, it's got to be impact resistant, it's got to be able to survive a bit of a beating. Four is lumen and candela. I want high lumen and high candela. Lumen because it provides me with visual data, lots of visual data. Candela because I might want to penetrate a threshold or two thresholds into a room, into a back room, for example, or a garage or whatever the case may be. Candela is what is going to have supply me with reach. Now I can tell you straight off the bat, the Manker MC 11 has all of those features. Also, one other thing is I don't want to have to cycle modes to get to the most powerful mode. I want it programmable so that I can have the most powerful mode at the touch of a button immediately. Also, I want to be able to carry the flashlight in a bezel down configuration so that when I reach for it out of my pocket, it comes out ready to go. I don't want it in this situation, so when I take it out, I have to flip it around type deal, and then no, I want to carry it bezel down. And for the money, 1,299 Rand here in South Africa, it's not that much money. I think it pretty much is going to be the best bang for your buck, and it has one of the most outstanding tail cap buttons I've ever gotten my hands on. And those of you who follow my channel know I have lots of flashlights. I EDC'd and reviewed the original Manker MC 11, and I mean, look at this thing, right? This thing has been in the wars. I have treated this with absolutely no respect, and to this day, the sucker still runs. And I can tell you the MC 11.2 is an improvement over the original MC 11 in pretty much every respect. Now, we're going to talk a lot about this button, but let's get the admin out of the way first. What you get in the box? So you get quite a cool box with a magnetically opening window. You obviously get your Manker MC 11.2 with a 18650 USB Type-C rechargeable battery. You get a charging cable. It is on the short end, but it does have another USB port here. You can use the Manker MC 11.2's battery as a emergency power bank, so that's quite cool. Get a little package with a lanyard that no one ever uses and a spare seal or O-ring, whatever you want to call it. And then you also get the manual, which you won't need after this video. And that's pretty much what you get in the box. That's the boring stuff out of the way. Let's talk about modes, then we're going to talk about waterproofing, beam shots, impact rating, etc., etc. So the light has a side switch. That switch does not function the light. Okay, the light only functions via the tail cap. So in reverse order, let me just get my notes in front of me. In reverse order, you get turbo, which is 2000 lumens for an hour and 42 minutes. That's going to give you 305 meters of throw at 23,200 candela. Right now, that is thermoregulating, so the flashlight will dim as it gets warmer. Sorry about the flash there. This is definitely a flash warning video, so just be cautious. So that is turbo at 2000 lumens. One tap down takes you to high at 750 lumens. You get that for 1 hour and 53 minutes. One tap down takes you to medium of 350 lumens. You get that for 5 hours. One tap down takes you to low of 80 lumens for 17 hours and 30 minutes. And one tap down takes you to moonlight, which is 0.1 lumen for 866 hours. Pressing and holding the side switch will activate strobe. If you then put it off by the tail switch, it will remember your strobe mode. So the flashlight will remember the last mode it was set into, which I generally put on turbo at 2000 lumens. Now, let's do drop testing. So guys, 7 shoulder height drop tests. The flashlight is perfectly functional. Now we did have a few rainy days, so I thought after the drop testing I would chuck it in the rain a bit and see how it handled it. And I will be honest, this is one of the few flashlights, not one of the few flashlights, this is one of the flashlights I really wasn't too concerned. The MC11 is built like a tank and it handled the water perfectly, no problem. After it was in the rain, I cycled it and it is 100% good to go as of this moment. Now, beam shots. So indoor beam shots first. As you can see, one of the paintings on the right, which is the female in a red bathing suit, I use that often because it's very important to tell what color things are, color rendition. And as you can see with the MC11 you can do that pretty effectively. Now, the importance of that is the difference between a red liquid being blood or just a normal clear liquid being water. If you don't have good color rendition, you can't tell the difference. When you're using a tactical flashlight, you need to be able to differentiate. So you definitely can, it provides really good color rendition so you can differentiate your colors. And then for umbrella lighting, works perfectly. That high lumen, high candela really does reflect light off a ceiling really well and gives you a nice umbrella of light in which to operate. Now, if you want to throw it a bit further, this is 30 meters. Those 3 poles in front of you, the black and yellow poles, they're 30 meters away. And that's sort of in my opinion, the outer edges of EDC tactical flashlight use. And as you can see, it lights it up perfectly and beyond. So you do have the ability to reach out further than just what's in front of you if you do need to spot someone down a passageway or a yard or whatever the case may be. You can do that with the MC11 II. Now, I want to talk to you about this button press. So I'm going to press the button and I'm going to apply a constant pressure on the button until the light clicks from momentary to constant on. So I'm touching the button, pressure, 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 click. And now it's in constant on. I'll do it again. Pressure, 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 click. While I'm doing that, it is providing a constant and uniform feedback upwards. So the moment I touch this button, it pushes back. It's got the most tactile button press I've ever come across. It is the best button I've ever experienced on a flashlight, because your control over momentary on versus constant on is 100%. Using a flashlight in a tactical situation, you want to be able to control momentary versus constant. You do not want to negligently discharge your flashlight, and you also don't want to negligently put it in constant. You want to have total control over momentary. And I'll show you, so flashing light warning, this is what it looks like when someone strobes you. And that is not me using the built-in strobe function. That's me using a manual strobe, just tapping the button. And because of the tactility of the button and the fact that the button pushes upwards with the same force with which you push downwards, means you have so much control over switching from momentary to constant on. Now, there is also a battery level indicator on the side switch. I don't know if you can see it. Blue is for 50 and above, 50% and above. Purple is for 50 to 20%, and red is for 20% and below. Guys, the MC11 can also tail stand if that's your deal. So if you want to use it hands-free as an umbrella light, you can do that. I think for the money, it's got to be the best everyday carry tactical flashlight available in this price range. I want to say a huge thanks to Henry Beeman and the guys at Torch SA for always supporting the channel. I really do appreciate it. I'm sorry it took this long to do the review, but I wanted to make sure I did it absolutely perfect. Guys, that is it. The Manker MC11 II. I will leave a link down below as to where you can buy this from Torch SA. Have a good week. Be safe. Train hard. Cheers. God bless.